Are we live?
You're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Reggie, and this is the Berkeley Poetry Slam. Back at it again, another week of fire-ass poetry delivered digitally right to your living room or bedroom, or I don't know, maybe a bathroom. But wherever you are, we are there too. We having a wonderful show tonight. We have 5 amazing poets in our slam. We have an amazing feature, Michelle Dodd. But before we begin, I have a few rules for y'all at home. I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe to whatever platform you are on, be it Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We do this shit a lot. Like between all of our shows, we have like 14 things for you to attend a month. We don't expect you to keep up with that, but we do expect you to find out by turning your notifications on so you can always be notified when we're doing dope shit. And also comments on the live stream. Let these poets know how much you love these poems. Be more enthusiastic than you would at a slam in person, because we're not in person, so we can't hear you. So you have to be extra, extra, extra loving. Speaking of slams and shows and how much we do, none of this would be possible if not for our supporters holding it down for us on Patreon. Over the last year, we have done a bunch of amazing work with this program. We've been able to reach a global audience, but we haven't been able to do that. We wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for the financial support that our monthly donors on Patreon have been giving. So I'd like to give a special shout out to a few of our patrons. In particular, Alice Nami, Melody Montgomery, John Romankiewicz, Stephanie Yeboah, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Calla Lily for risking it for the biscuit with us. I want to say a special thank you to Jessica Kozakic for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops. And of course, a huge Rich Oak thank you to Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support for one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center. Our average donation is about $11 a month, which means that for less than the price of a shitty Netflix subscription, you can support a global literary and performing arts movement. If you enjoy anything that you see tonight, or just love the arts and believe in the expression and reparation and liberation of oppressed people, head on over to patreon.com/richoakevents to donate monthly, or you can donate one time via our GoFundMe. Our link for both of those will be in the chat. So yeah, we got a great show tonight. Normally we have our poetry, a feature, and then more poetry. But time zones been kicking our ass for the last year and a half. So we got an East Coast feature with us, and of course to respect their time, so you know we all can get to bed at a reasonable hour. We're gonna have our feature go first. Our feature today is Michelle Dodd. I'm just gonna read her bio because this is one of my favorite bios I've ever looked over. Michelle Dodd is a spoken word artist based out of Richmond, Virginia. In 2016, she became a TedxRVA speaker and performer. She was one of the coaches for the Virginia Commonwealth University Slam team, which placed third in 2018 Cupseed. That was a year. Dodd is a graduate fellow of the Watering Hole Writing Retreat and a fellow of Winter Tangerine. She is also a member of the Submissions, Digital Retreat, and Locations Committee, as well as a staff member for the Watering Hole. She has been a workshop leader and assistant with a nonprofit called Art 180 that works with the youth. In 2018, she wrote a poem for a promotional commercial for NBC 12's Richmond Market that was nominated for an Emmy. Dodd has had poems published in Whurk Magazine, Wusgood Magazine, Cathexis Northwest Press, Swimming with Elephants, and more. She also has 2 self-published books, Torrent and Black and Not Starry. I would say this forever. Dodd is good all the time. All the time. Dodd is good. I need y'all to give it up, cheer, clap, woo, sound off in the comment section for our feature tonight, Michelle Dodd.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. So yeah, my name is Michelle, and I'm here to do some poems, but I'm awkward, so I like to preface my sets with things about me that are sort of random, but not really, because they're all about me. I don't know. So yes, my name is Michelle. I am a mom, a poet, an ex-gymnast. I'm bipolar. I have ADHD. So if you hear me talking very fast, I am sorry. To me, it sounds normal. That's part of the ADHD and the bipolarness is rapid speech. So I'm gonna try to go slow. What else? I am a root worker, conjurer, witchy person, and yeah, I write poems. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into some poems for y'all. I forget that people don't really know my story. And I just kind of like jump into things without like, disclaimers or anything. But I was adopted when I was a baby. I grew up in an all-white family. And my writing started with that. And it kind of still references my family, like my parents, and certain things. My childhood was very different. I was very sheltered. I am still catching up on all of my Black things. And I'm gonna put it out there because I still haven't seen any of the Friday movies. Don't hate me. Please don't take my Black card. I have seen other things. But yeah, so my first I'm behind. I know, but I'm gonna catch up. My boyfriend's really helped me catch up. He's Black, he's great. Anyway, so the first poem is called Adoption, and I'm just gonna hop into it. Also, fun fact, after being pregnant, your brain literally rewires things. So my memory has gone to shit. And I'll be reading these poems. But yeah, it's been a struggle. But yeah, so adoption. My family is as white as dogwoods. I felt I was pulled from the African diaspora. My identity crisis started from the switch of my hips and not knowing how to properly take care of my hair. I had to learn. The best parts of me are not wedged in between adoption's letters. I thought brown meant scar, meant closed, meant to adopt as many white characteristics as possible. I used Mederma all over. I thought lightning cream was the solution because I thought all of me was a scar. When you don't look like your family, you tend to be in the middle of photos for the balancing act, as if to say the family still needs to be symmetrical. Because if you're going to be a smudge, you might as well be one in the middle so it looks intentional. When I was younger, I would knock on any closed door thinking my heritage was listening just on the other side, just a doorknob turn away. My birth mother chose a closed adoption. I've been wanting to open it, but I don't have the right set of hands. I can't remember how to turn the damn knob, and I just end up pushing because it's comforting to lean on something and know it's not going anywhere. It is comforting that the door won't split. I'm afraid of picking the lock, being called an intruder by my mother, thinking I came to rob her of what joy she has held onto. But my birth records are a blackout poem. I am a cryptogram with no key. Word, that's poem. It is very odd not hearing like actual clapping. I think the last time and the last time I like did a feature, I was pregnant, but it was like my last like thrill because I had blood clots when I was pregnant, so I couldn't do a lot, and I was supposed to be on bed rest for like 5 months of the 9 months. It was terrible. I love my son though, he's great. So let's see here. There is a lot of my poems have to do with motherhood, because I'm a new mom. So that's what I wrote about. Before having my son back in 2014, I had a miscarriage. So I wrote a lot about that as well. This next poem is kind of about that. It's called Undone. The prompt was to write about an experience that was very traumatic and kind of undo it. So I wrote a poem. There's a little bit of a song that I sing in front of it, just because I feel like it fits, but I switched a little bit of the wording around. So I'm gonna try and sing this. I'm also in my apartment and it's 11:46 right now, and I'm gonna try not to be loud because my neighbors will not be very happy. But I'm about to say screw them and just, baby, I. So yeah, so this poem is called Undone. And it starts with the song, and it goes like this. Sometimes I feel like a childless mother. Sometimes I feel like a childless mother. Sometimes I feel like a childless mother. A long way from home, a long way from home. My body wakes up unashamed of itself. Took to pregnancy like it was the plan. I am now never too late to catch my son. Hold him in my arms and love on him. Now, Elijah is mommy's little helper. I mother hard, and he is all of my reasons for getting out of the bed in the mornings. I say his name more than I say hello. I say his name more than I look in the mirror. I say his name so much that the blood crawls back into the crib of my womb, and I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I have turned back time. I have become a seamstress, sewing the umbilical cord fiber by fiber. I have mastered holding life, swaddling it, nourishing it. In an alternate universe, it has been undone. The miscarriage has been undone. Word. So that's that. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy between me, I'm like happy and bubbly and like very like up, and then all my poems are like so sad. I mean, that's a good place for the sadness to sit. It's like in the writing, and then in my life, I'm just like me. And I'm like me who's worked through the sadness. I have done a lot of work trying to overcome some of the guilt that I felt, or the feelings of sadness, and just like, you don't ever feel like I had a lot of problems with feeling like I was good enough, and like my self-worth just kind of like plummeted after having a miscarriage. And it took me until my son was born in 2019 that I actually like felt like I had a purpose, and I felt whole again, and I felt like, oh, I can do this. I can do this thing called life. I can do this thing, and I have to, because there's a little person depending on me for everything, and I can't let him down. So I was like, I got to start, taking care of myself so I can take care of him too. So that was that poem. And also, during this, this is totally on a different topic, but in my head, all of these thoughts like stream together, but it might be random, I don't know. I have done a lot of soul searching during this pandemic. I'm sure a lot of people have. We've been home, we've been stuck home. There's a lot of like time for self-reflection. I have folded self-compassion into my daily routine. It is something I've had to learn to do. Because I am the meanest person to myself all the time. So self-compassion is literally like being nice to yourself. And with that, I have learned how to be more honest in my writing and not shy away from things. Sometimes you'll write something and you'll have that little voice like, no, don't go there, go over here. And it's like, I'm trying to like silence that voice and still stay on the path that's like, these are my honest feelings, like bare bone, completely pulled, like is that, and it's not like any fluff or anything, try to hide anything, which I used to do with a lot in my writing. So I've been looking at me in relationships and how I love, how I want to receive love. And it's just been a whole shadow work experience of this. And I wrote a poem called "The Mirror Speaks to the Serial Monogamist of Me." And here we go. And now you've come here after he leaves, after they all leave, and you ask me why your misery never leaves with them. You only look full when someone else swallows your shit, and you wane so easily when they regurgitate it. Make it more palpable. Serve it back to you as if it wasn't yours in the first place, a waterbender. Why do you need another's hands to wash your trauma off? You've been codependent for so long, you've forgotten how to repair your self-worth, how to knit your own sweater to weather the self-inflicted assault, how to doctor the wounds you've dismissed as if they weren't yours and yours alone. You harm yourself so much that you think you are protecting yourself, that it's everyone else with the knives. My dear, can't you see how you've sharpened your own fangs? Depression is not the mailman leaving packages at your front step. You cannot chase it away with snarls and the flashing of teeth, or by nipping at somebody's coattails. You cannot give it to someone else to open as if it was sent to the wrong address. You must accept it, sign for it, and stop using it to hold lovers prisoner. Handing him your pain won't make love any easier. You must tame your werewolf. Coming back from every bone in your body breaking at once may seem impossible. I know that staying broken can feel easier because once you've turned, you won't have to worry about your psyche splintering anymore, or you're already on the other side. Pain doesn't hit the same when you've given up. I'm tired of being a tether to someone who stopped fighting for herself and started fighting anyone who tried to soothe the beast. I'm tired of scraping together my own shards because you still think punching a reflection isn't self-inflicting. I am tired of being alone, watching you self-destruct, helpless. Aren't you tired of your body collapsing? Aren't you tired of rotting from the inside out? You have such a beautiful grin. Don't you want to stop? Don't you want to stop looking at me, wondering why your smile fades before it reaches its true potential? Pain is not a soulmate. The point is to work through it, not marry it, not let it stay so long that it thinks it's home. After all, it is an intruder. It is not your lover. Word. That's that poem. I did not read that out loud to my boyfriend, but I let him read it and he was like, okay. I was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you to your face, but it's just like, this is where I was at a certain, I don't know. Anyway, same tip on relationship stuff and being honest. I've also, like I said before, I've had to look at how I love and how I receive love, and acknowledging how selfish I have been in the past, and trying to grow out of that is just like, because we're conditioned to it, so many things are ingrained in society, and it sucks because it's like recently, even in the last few years, we've been breaking out of a lot of stereotypes. We've been breaking out of a lot of things that have been passed down from the boomer generation and all this other stuff about like what a relationship is supposed to look like or what a family is supposed to look like. And it's heartening. It's warming my heart that there's like, that is such I can't talk, the change. Like, people are more open, people are like being themselves. And it's just so beautiful. And it's like, okay, that's inspiring. I need to like, not copy, but like also be myself and whatever that means for me. So I wrote a poem. It's called "In All Honesty." Yeah, I'm just gonna get into the poem. I'm very awkward. I don't know why people let me talk in between poems. I'm gonna start doing what Ed used to do. Ed Mabry, he used to just count down from 10 to 1 between each poem. and then just start another poem. Like, that shit was crazy. But yeah, this is called, I also have a cat. If you see me look off in a weird direction, it is because my cat is doing something that she probably shouldn't be doing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Anyway, in all honesty, I begot we. I begot you. You begot loneliness. Blame begot apologies. Blame begot accountability. Blame begot love. Jealousy begot certainty. Jealousy begot your feelings. Jealousy begot confidence. Emotions begot reason. Emotions begot listening. Mine begot yours. Healing for our son begot healing for you. Healing for me. Burying memories begot healing, because healing meant facing my problems, meant putting on a brave face when it's so much easier to pretend everything is okay. Learning how to speak to you begot learning how to speak of myself. My insecurities begot learning how to accept myself, how to love myself, how to live with who I am and the things I've done or the things that were done to me. The idea of being with you begot our relationship. Pushing you away always begot opening up. Denial begot honesty. Even now, my instincts are telling me to stop writing or to go another direction. Wanting love begot understanding it. Wanting love begot giving it. Wanting love begot putting in the work to keep it. Wanting love begot we. Begot you, begot apologies, begot accountability. Wanting your love for me begot wanting you to have my love for you. Wanting begot making sure you were okay, we were okay. Wanting begot fixing. Wanting begot understanding how selfish I have been, yet you still want me. That's where that ends. Oh gosh. Oh, I haven't even looked at the chat right now, so I'm just like, I don't know. The woohoo. Okay, awesome. Let's see here. Love the Bible feel the word of who we got what. Yes, I don't know. I think I heard the word begot, and I was just like, oh my God. And then I just was inspired to write a poem off of that one word, which I thought that's pretty cool to me. I don't know. That usually doesn't happen. I usually have to have like a whole theme or like fleshed out idea, and it's just like, oh, that just came to me. So let's see here. How much time do I have? I have not been keeping track.
You have time for like one more.
Oh, cool. Okay. So last poem. This poem, I always close out every single set I've ever done with this poem. It was like the first, it might sound silly, but it's like the first poem that I ever really finished. And it's the one that stuck with me, and it's still very relevant to my life. It speaks to me being adopted. It's about my like the relationship between me and my parents, who, yes, they're in their 70s. They're old white people, but they are very open. We have a lot of discussions about race, and I have a sister who was also adopted from another family. We teach them a lot of things. It goes well. They're okay. Let's see here. So it's plainly called Family. There is a song I'm gonna sing a little bit. And yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited for the slam to see y'all's work and everything, but I'm gonna do this poem. Why you wanna fly, blackbird? You ain't ever gonna fly. No place big enough for holding all the tears you're gonna cry. And they call you Little Sorrow, 'cause you'll never love again. People don't believe my white parents love me. They think pity or charity or privileged signatures on paper. Adoption is a myth that gets played out. They think a cute Black girl hung from an arm of a rich white person, that family means to be related by blood, birds of a feather flock together. They say, why you wanna fly, blackbird? You ain't ever gonna fly. Like I have to resemble the struggle of grandparents, inherit the murder of crow's feet circling their eyes. They think I've lost my nest, picked like a crayon, a black to fill the white space, the background. People who think my white parents don't truly love me will never hear the harmony in our hugs and smiles from father and mother to daughter. They believe accents don't make a difference in a symphony. They say, You ain't got no one to hold you. You ain't got no one. Yeah. My parents say, we're not going to teach her to run. We're going to raise her to fly. She will break through steel-plated bird cages like your ribs. She'll reach into your chest, take a hold of your pulse with such compassion. It will break the stigma of your closed-mindedness. I am proof that love is not formed by blood. Love is formed by want, and I will always want to fly above the bullshit and believe that I was created as an accent to their unfinished melody. No one sees how my family's mixed color represents how covalent our bond is. We love like legs of a kitchen table holding our meals and grace and prayers. We love like broken is not in our vocabulary. We are sun-filled eyes peering over horizons in our backyard. We're not puzzle pieces. Our love isn't missing any parts. We are every ink blot on sheet music. We the fibers of rings of life on trunks of trees. We are Dalmatians, trusting that our spots will never go anywhere without us. Flying is our crawling. Soaring feels just like hovering. The wingspan of angels should not be measured by the color of their feathers, but let the doubters tell it. All I hear is, why you wanna fly, blackbird? You ain't ever gonna fly. Word.
Okay, singing. What? Okay. That was Michelle Dodd. Everybody give it up for our feature. Gang, 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 gang. Wow. It's been a minute since we've had a feature. I'm so glad that we were able to have one this week. I'm so glad we were able to have you this week.
Thank you for having me.
And I mean, part of this, I got a question. How can we support you?
Oh,
where can we go?
I'm so bad at plugging myself. It's not even. So honestly, the best thing right now is probably just to find me on Facebook or find me on Instagram. Delightfully Dodd on everything but Facebook. My name is just Michelle Dodd. You see, I have blue hair in the picture. But yeah, if and when I do something next, I will be posting it there, and then you can see it again.
Yes, definitely. How I like to say it, sweetie, tap in with Michelle Dodd. You don't want to miss what she's going to be doing. Oh, I'm terrible. Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing feature. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming here and sharing your talent with us. I'm just gonna read some of the comments. That was amazing. Take my money. Tap, tap, tap in. Oh, I'm so glad that people are receiving my jokes. Pain is not a soulmate. People were just feeling your poetry. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Now I gotta run a slam after that. Woo! Let's recenter it. Yes, we have a whole ass slam tonight. We have 5 amazing poets that will be competing in this order tonight. We have Alex the Great, then we have Joshua Merchant, then we have Nicole Tracy, then we have Sus DJ, and then we have my. Give it up for every single poet that is going to be touching this stage tonight. Woo! Gang, 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 gang. Woo! Gang, gang. Lit. But before we start our slam, of course, our slam has rules. First, for our poets. Yup, y'all can't just do whatever the fuck you want. You have rules. No props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity.
No Cocos.
Yeah, Coco, can you be considerate of people doing a live stream? Thank you. Sometimes you just have to politely tell the dog to shut the fuck up. But politely, because they are, I mean, I don't know, like, what is Peter gonna say? Like, dogs are people too, or whatever. For my PETA fans. But yeah, no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity. This is a family live stream. Please don't get us taken off the web. But more importantly than keeping your pants on is our time limit. You got 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to give your own original poem. After 3 minutes, that is 3 and 10 seconds, you'll be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Mike Taylor, after 4 minutes, you will be muted. We will play music. And I will have to come up and awkwardly recover that fumble. I am not a football player. I do not recover fumbles well. I am awkward as hell. It is going to be painful for me. It's going to be painful for you. It's going to be painful for our audience. So whatever you do, don't go over 4 minutes. Next, for the judges. Y'all have rules too. First, thank you so much for judging. Without you, we couldn't pay a winner at the night. But in order to do that, you have to give scores. So you'll be giving every poet a score from a 0.0 to 10.0 scale. 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you have ever heard in your goddamn life. It's like waking up tomorrow morning and finding out that Donald Trump is still president, and it's all been a dream for the last 6 months. It's not cute, it's not courageous, it's just ghetto, and that's just a 2.5. A 10 is the best thing you've ever heard in your life. It's like a third Obama presidency, except it's not Barack, it's not Michelle, it's not even Sasha and Malia. Bo, y'all remember that dog they had, that cute ass dog? The dog is president, and that is just an 8.5. Point being, not a lot of zeros, not a lot of 10 score. Accordingly, there's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on, and we may or may not be getting more into the vibes, imbibing in whatever we do in order to be refreshed. Someone just informed me that the Obama's dog died, and I'm like, no. No. I refuse to believe that the dog died. I was gonna make a terrible joke. I'm gonna keep it to myself. Yeah, there's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on, people might be imbibing, maybe vibing, and the poetry starts sounding better, it gets higher scores, but that's not fair to the motherfuckers that went first when you were sober and vibeless, and they were just as good as the people who went last. So to help with that, we will have a sacrificial poet. They will not be competing, but you're gonna score them like they are. And any poem that you like more, score them higher. Any poem you don't like as much, score them lower. Cool. Oh, and then of course, our time-honored tradition. Some people call it tradition, some people call it ancestral gaslighting, but either way, it's a gimmick because we're talking about word of the day. Word of the day. It is our time-honored tradition where we force these poets to jam a random word from Merriam-Webster's Word of the Day into their poem for an extra point during our first round. Our word of the day today is enjoin. Oh shit, it's not in my host checklist. I don't know what that whole means. Our word of the day is enjoin. Let's see, where is it at? Enjoin. It is a word that means to direct or impose by authoritative order or with urgent admonition. To A, forbid or prohibit, or to B, to prohibit by a judicial order, put an injunction on. Poets, if you use our word of the day, enjoin, in your poem, you get an extra point. Judges, do not worry about the extra point. That will be held down by our scorekeeper. But what everybody can do is, if you hear the word of the day in the chat, you should post. If you hear a word of the day in a poem, you should type in the chat word of the day, WOD or WOD. Our scorekeeper our live streamer has done a lot with wadi yadi 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 yadi. Any version of WOD, word of the day, is enough to get our scorekeeper's attention. Lit. So we have our rules for our poets. We have our rules for the judges. We already did the rules for the audience. Are we ready to start the show? No, we are not, because we need our sacrificial poet, someone to get these judges ready to hear some real poetry. So on deck, we have Alex the Great, but give maximum love to your sacrificial poet of the night, Reggie.
Hey. Hey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I do not label my body, and therefore I allow my name to be the first thing to fall from anyone's lips. Girl to my face, boy behind my back, or whenever my body is a less than welcome thing. More sinister names exist in the dark when no one thinks I can hear them. Freak, monster, pervert. My body exists inside and outside the teeth, the tongue, the throat of lies you tell yourself to sleep better at night. My gender is both intangible and a heavy brick that sits in my stomach until I vomit up an identity that is more concrete. My fingers desperately grasping at the mist of a girl, the smoke of a boy, or the tangible violence required for me to survive as either. There is so much blood trapped in this body, and all of it is planning to leave. Naming the exits just aids the escape of myself out of my own veins. Anything can be a gender. A gun, a knife, a rope, as long as it is something I should run from, despite it being the only thing that knows my name clearly. Girl against the blade, boy pressing the trigger, neither when my breath tries to asphyxiate me into something more palatable. Gender becomes a weapon when it is only used to describe how worthy I am of respect, or how much I can defile a temple I built with my own two hands. Too much girl to be a boy. Too much boy to be kept safe in the presence of more dangerous men. Pronouns become a coffin when they are only used after I am dead. He, him when convenient. She, her as a joke. They, them when I am a secret to be hidden behind the fist. I either disappeared down so many throats you'd think my gender was made of choking or gagging or spittle. My pronouns a magic trick. My body can become anything you want it to be, as long as you believe it is not mine to own or keep safe. My name belongs to anyone except the people who truly love me. And love is a gender too, at least in the way that it always seems to slip through my fingers. Everything becomes ash on my tongue. When I introduce myself, everything tastes like fire. Everything burns. Give it up for the sacrificial poet. Woo! I don't know who the sacrifice was, but they was looking kind of fine. But judges, please send your scores to Mike, our scorekeeper of the night. Gang, gang, gang. So judges, that was your sacrificial poet. You are now ready. You are now lubed up for the poetry. So get ready to just slide in on this night, because on deck we have Joshua Merchant. But give maximum love to our first poet competing in the slam tonight. Give it up for Alex the Great.
Let's go.
Blessed be the mother, the tireless one, the essential worker, the one who never sleeps, the one who carried the seed, who nourished the tree and waters the roots, whose prayers have continued to carry you. Blessed be her soul. Be it a whisper in the wind or the whistle in the hymn, she is a song of worship, to be praised, sacred, preserved at all costs. Bless the single mother, the God of resourcefulness, nurses everyone but herself. While you were busy complaining about what's for dinner, she was turning manna into a feast of thanksgiving. She be so given and everybody be taken, and she just keeps smiling, make sure her babies want for nothing. Blessings to the widow, the one now navigating without her life mate, feeling shipwrecked while still at sea, no room to recognize her feelings while life is still moving, which is to say her environment cannot dispel her sadness. She is drowning in grief, yet she throws her children a lifeline, lets them ride her back to safety, doesn't question the circumstances, only is grateful for the second chances, give her strength in the rebirth, sing her song despite the reverb. Blessed be the new mother, the one who had no model, no compass to guide her, but took the potter's clay and made a home. Blessed be her home. Let peace sanctify her bones, resilience rest in her palms, and she embrace herself when the world would cast her off. Let her know she is not alone. She is graceful, the epitome of joy. Mama's laugh is still healing at best. Her love language is sacrifice. Watch her twist her tongue out of her own dreams another time. Turn your tears into praise. Take your stress and make it grace. Give her flowers while she yet live to smell them, be it Mary or Ruth, Keisha or Chantel, Lula Mae or Dorothy Nell, my lifeline, or Marilyn who birthed me, even me, Lord. Bless me, oh Lord. Blessed be the mother, the ram in the bush, the one without an excuse, your angel, lest you should heed her advice. You was somewhere sitting in the belly of a whale, head lowered and tucked your tail, when she came and rescued you from yourself.
Gang, gang. Give it up for the poet. Woo!
Woo!
Yes. And for reference, our sacrificial poet got a 27.4. I say this every week. I will continue saying this every week. Fuck the scores. We give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. Actually, this works because my nails are red, so it actually kind of looks like a heart. Oh. Lit. Judges, please send your scores for Alex the Great to our scorekeeper. Y'all have been really good about getting these scores in on time. Thank you. I mean, I know we've only had one poet, but like we haven't had any delays, so let's keep that up. So on deck, let me not even front like I have this list up in front of me. On deck, we have Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on the mic. Give it up for Josh Merchant.
Woo! Let's go.
Woo!
America is a hospital, is a joint, will smoke you, is a funeral, is an open wound in the line at Popeye's Chicken, is the janitor there to clean up, trying to unsee what they just saw, is a knife, is a gun, is a magic trick, summons tents under underpasses, demands you find a new home, is a bully who will bully you until you are and punish you for it, is an old white man trying to defend you until he is beaten bloody, will make you feel like you need a white ally, will make you not trust your white allies anymore, is poison that needs more poison to keep from dying, is a pimp and a hoe, holding machetes to each other's throats as they are both ran over by a cop car, pulling back to a hotel suite on a resort in Hawaii, gets to go downstairs to visit the pyramids in Vegas, makes money to lose money, loses money to make money, and will tell you crime don't pay. America will give you a phone call saying your mother has COVID. The same people will tell you that she can't swallow her food. Those same people will take her to the emergency room, only to tell you they're enjoining those who tested positive, feeding tubes. Those same people will cover the cost of her ceremony. And I know, this is the part where motherfuckers suck their teeth. This too is old as fuck. And what are we to do? Laugh too loud and you're hysterical. Cry too much and you're too sensitive. Talk to yourself while outside and everyone will laugh while running across the street. I'm here to tell you, I'd rather you run. Excuse our language. We don't mean to curse. This isn't me dropping a house on you. This is me placing a castle on your forehead and telling you to balance that shit the way I have to, the way we've all had to for centuries. May it never catch fire. May you never crumble under its weight, and God forbid you do anyway. May the next ally take your shoes and click their heels until they do better. May the next ally see your shoes and tap the scarecrow, the tin man, and the lion and say, I think you might need these. They say the road to hell was paved with good intentions, but to freedom, maybe the bricks are coke white, cloak white, white as the hands that clubbed our mouths shut and told us to eat.
Gang, gang.
Let's go.
Give it up.
God diggity damn.
Poet Josh Merchant.
Let's go.
Gang.
Wow.
Was that Sally's ghetto ass? Look, poets.
Risk it for the biscuit.
I need you to risk your ass on out of here, Sally.
Who needs the audience when you got me?
Do you hear her talking shit? Do you hear Sally talking shit? You can't just let her talk shit. The only way we can prevent Sally from talking shit and taking over the slam is if we scream, shout, yell for the poets. It looks like our scorekeeper is missing 2 more scores. For our for Josh, but Alex the Great got a 28.1. Woo! But fuck the scores. Always give it up for the poetry. Never the points. The poetry, never the points. And never give it up for Sally. The only good thing Sally does is Sally captions our graphics, which is like really good for accessibility, but also like, do we really need her for a slam? I don't think so. Lit. We are going to keep it rolling because on deck we have Suts DJ. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on the mic. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Woo!
Ow!
Ow, 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 ow.
Go. Mic check.
I can hear you.
To the platypus. 1. I know what it's like to be looked at with confusion, to be something in between 2 things and told you are not enough of either. Ducks call you a beaver and beavers will always call you a duck. Neither of them wants you to be both. Both want to put the other part of you on trial and see which part of your quiddity they will enjoin. I know the ache of wishing you could turn your fur to feathers, wishing you could make your tail shrink. I know we share the same ache of wanting to be just one thing, just so we don't get asked the same question over and over and over again. I know how it feels to lose your voice when you get asked to pick one. I know you want your identity to be easy for other people to take in. How many ducks called you a beaver before you corrected them? How many jokes did you make at the expense of your own identity because it made it easier to be around someone else? I know some days you feel more duck than beaver, and other days you forget ducks even exist. But most days, you wish you could swing your tail and knock out anyone who says you're only a duck and peck away anyone who says you're only a beaver. Have you ever forgotten what a quack sounds like? Forgotten what your own voice sounds like, surrounded by noise meant to do just that? Well, guess what, platypus? Don't forget about your venom. Don't settle for just being a duck or just being a beaver when you are so much greater than being equal to just one of them. 2. We are just a big fuck you to assumptions. We exist despite easy, straightforward answers. You laughed all the way into your own creation, made sure they called you Ornithorhynchus anatus, and knew the most mammalian thing about you was that you were also a bird. Once you realized the ache to fit in was someone else shaming you, you chose to love your differences and became so much better for it. A stranger tries to correct you on your own experiences, saying, mammals don't lay eggs. So you laughed in their face and dropped an egg right at their feet and moved on, never letting your voice be silenced anymore. We are both hidden danger to others, but never ourselves. That is the difference between venom and poison after all. Don't forget about your venom. We are both the best parts of so many unexplained entities. We love that some puzzles are unsolvable, and we are one of these puzzles. We are both so happy to be greater than just one simple thing.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Nicole, Tracy. Gunshots, gunshots, fireworks, fireworks. Yes. Before I announce the previous poet score, I just want to let y'all know that if you hear anything you like tonight, if you fuck with us as much as we fuck with you sitting at home, you should consider donating to Rich Oak Events. Rich Oak Events is the larger organization that puts on the Berkeley Poetry Slam. That's us. The Oakland Poetry Slam. That's also us. And the Alchemy Open Mic. You guessed it. That's us. Yeah, it takes a lot to run 3 shows that have 7 poetry events and 7 writing workshops every single month, especially in a virtual space where we're not charging anybody for anything. Yeah, we're giving out money to features, educators, winners, all that good stuff, while still, you know, giving money and tossing money to organizations and people and things that are in the community. So we definitely encourage you to donate to Rich Oak Events. You can do that by donating to our Patreon, becoming a monthly donor at patreon.com/richoakevents. That has the biggest impact because it gives us a budget to work with monthly. It's like getting your paycheck once a year versus getting your paycheck every 2 weeks or once a month. One's easier to deal with than the other. We also really do survive on one-time donations as well, whether it's in our GoFundMe, our Cash App, our Venmo. Every donation that you make, regardless of the level, regardless of the type, goes a long way in ensuring that we can continue not just supporting our artists with a platform, but supporting our artists financially. This shouldn't be a side hustle for people. This should be art, poetry, writing, literacy. This all should be something that we are paying people a living wage with, but we can't do that without community support. So keep that in mind, because on deck we have, scores. I didn't forget. Joshua Merchant got a 27.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry and never the points. On deck, we have mine, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Susky J.
I know that's right. Let's go.
Ow! I am a union. I am an onion. How many unions am I in? How many onions are under my sink? I am a worker. I am a newspaper. I am a partner. I am a crier. I am the words. I am the layers. I am the words, but it isn't dirty newsprint that's messy with my tears. I'm tired of workers, colleagues left behind. I am the set of shit that breaks me and shit that makes me. How's that for some Venn diagram set theory? Because in this deck of cards, life dealt me a real nice batch, but it ain't as simple as game, set, match. How many unions am I in? How many onions are under my sink? Union, onion, Funyun, yum, yum. I am fun. Are you flaming hot? Am I about to get got? If I swallow my words, am I sinking my union pride during this just transition high tide? Or am I sinking my teeth into the earth, eating those fruity pebbles in a rich stone hearth as I build my own ground source heat pump? I am reminded of that onion whose seeds someone sunk into the soil. I am reminded of that green onion that I sunk my knife's blade into. Then the tears of joy, yes, the tears of grief that singed my eyes, those tears providing relief. How many unions am I in? I'm a worker, progressive. I am a partner, forever. I am the words together. How many onions are under my sink? I am a newspaper, funny. I am a crier, fugly. I am the layers together. Welcome to the barter economy. We wear onions on our belt as is the style in this day. If you're down with organized labor, say hey, because here's what I'm trading. Trading 4 bars with my percussive prior self. Trading 6 packs with colleagues after finding tech glitches got me in stitches. Trading an 8-legged spider for 8 armed octopuses crawling out at my lunch break, finding that food truck with perfectly fine pupusas. Trading 3 sheets in the 4 winds, trading my eyeglasses for a telescope lens. Not sure which direction this ship is taking me, north, south, east, west. We're all pirates. It's a journey. Welcome to the barter economy. We're selling onions, the union made. Enjoyed by everyone, enjoined by no one. Cry about it or be about it, because the onions are layered, and so are the unions, and so are the newspapers, and so are my stories. That's what makes them strong in this barter economy.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Susty J. Woo! Woo!
Yes.
Gunshot, fireworks. Boom. All right. And for reference, Nicole Tracy got a 27.7. Once again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. Yeah, earlier I mentioned that we like to throw our support, our money behind initiatives, organizations, people in our community that are in need. We haven't done this in a minute, but we do have a call to action. We have a community member that is trying to get out of a very, very tough, abusive, and quite frankly, really dangerous situation and stay out of that situation. They have a GoFundMe. I believe that GoFundMe is in our link tree. I hope it is. If not, it will be in our link tree by the end of the night. We encourage anyone and everyone who can donate to support. It's hard getting out of tough situations. It's infinitely harder when you are doing it by yourself. Just like it takes a community to fail somebody, it takes a community to heal somebody. So definitely, we believe in community healing, community support, mutual aid, because ain't nobody got us but us. I need y'all wherever you're at to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, ain't nobody got us but us. Ain't nobody got you but me. Ain't nobody got me but you. We are posting that GoFundMe in the chat. It is in our chat in the Zoom. It will be in the chat on all of our live stream channels. We encourage you to support these community members after traumatic, before, but definitely during and after traumatic events. We're already too late. We're doing damage control now. So definitely support. If you do not donate to us, donate to the GoFundMe. Donate to the GoFundMe. Preferably, if you can, do both. Or donate to the GoFundMe. If you do nothing else, donate to the GoFundMe that we are posting in the chat for our community member who is experiencing an intense time of need. If you can't donate, that's okay. Share it. Boosting can have an even greater effect than donating $5 if you think about it, because someone might donate $500. You never know. But if you can't donate, share. If you can donate, share. If you can't share, donate. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing on deck. We have round 2. but give, did I do the last poet scores?
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, lit. Gang. But give maximum love to our last poet of the first round. Give it up for my...
Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Amazing. I'm gonna give a content warning for like homophobia and suicidal ideation or like suicidal issues. Pull the latch, roll down steps, climb stairs that lead to history set and made. The attic holds pieces to every night. August 3rd, 2015, the world, meaning my grade, thinks I like girls. They're all right. I have loved a girl every night of my life, but they can't think they're right. I was enjoined from my own self. If I go back to school and let my elbows meet their bathroom stall floors, I won't be able to sit back up again. August 3rd marks the beginning of a cover-up boyfriend. It is only remembered through a Snapchat stories memory. From a private story that only I could see, it was a diary that was cool enough to own up to. We can never compose it well enough. We try so hard. Pulling poem pages ripped off the spine into a new order. Pouring through that one bucket I filled with my favorite CDs because 8th grade was full of The Definition and Childish Gambino. September 2015 never felt so close to now. The 24th night was spent listening to my cover-up boyfriend's mother watch Friends again. She'd pull me into her bedroom and whisper that I was a Chandler every time. Her breath smelled like whiskey, but her daughter's breath tasted like cherry chapstick. I scrolled through my notes app on my first iPod Touch, barely working and cracked as much as it could have been without not working. I read 2017's worst poetry, 2018's best, still not good enough, every single grocery list I ever made. Takeout orders had piled up like I didn't know how to make a grocery list. It was a composure of all of this recklessness. I sift through suicide notes, all 15 of them left unsigned. I remember the way the closing scared me. Would sincerely my not be sincere? Could goodbye my be the ruthless ending to a life never remembered? Would I be writing my obituary with this closing? The note I could handle, the closing was ever too tender. The way I didn't know if I should sign or print my name. Wasn't sure which would make me seem most intelligent at my funeral. December 15th, 2017, the first night I spent in the kids' psych unit. Lockdowns only made more competition for the busted radios they kept in the off-unit closets. But honestly, the whole unit was one big closet. December 21st, I kissed my roommate until our lips became one cushion for giggles and cuddles and fear for the real world. Here, we were secret for fun. Out there, we were secret for safety. I watched the years pile up in the rearview mirror. An exploding purple, a blushing red, and then a sun-setting orange, a compilation of everything that was once me. A compilation of every person 13-year-old me thought 16-year-old me could possibly become. This bottled up teenagedom was nothing I could have imagined, never went perfectly, but was always somehow extraordinary. I want it all back. I want it all gone. I want it now, and I wish it never was, but it was then, and it's gone now, and I'm still here, just pushing together the wrong pieces of a trauma-filled, love-struck, bitchy, low-lighted melodrama. Thank you.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for my woo. Yes. Okay. I just want to say I love how Sally came up in here once and everybody was like, hell no, not again. I appreciate the fact that we haven't had to deal with shit. From Sally, except for that one time. Sally, stay in your lane. I bet she gonna start talking shit right the fuck now too. But for reference, while I'm waiting for my scores, we have Susty J got a 24.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. All right. While we're waiting on my scores for the first round, let me tell you about other shows in the gay area. Other shows. Oh my God, there's like a bunch. First, of course, we have the Oakland Poetry Slam every third Tuesday on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And right here, of course, through Zoom. That means our next show is next week. We do have a sign-up list up. You can follow our link tree, the same link tree where you can donate to our GoFundMe, our community members GoFundMe. You can also sign up for our next slam, the Oakland Slam, usually at Lucas. Shout out to Lucas. We're hoping to be back as soon as it's safe to do so. So like, yeah, we miss Lucas. And then of course, every Wednesday, yours truly, the Berkeley Poetry Slam, of course, through Zoom, but on live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are normally at the Starry Plough pub in Berkeley. Shout out to the Starry Plough. Shout out Shaheen. I saw a video of you and your son, and I was like, damn. We really lost the whole year because I really thought he wasn't walking. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. We miss y'all. We can't wait to be back in the space once it is safe to do so. And then of course we have the Alchemy Open Mic every first and third Saturday through Instagram Live, normally at the Allen Blooper Center for Justice. Shout out to Molly. I hope you're doing good. We love you so much. We miss you. We hope to be back at the Allen Blooper Center very soon. That's such an important space in the community. We need it to stay open. I have scores. Yes. Woo. Woo. I'm looking at this time. Very close. I think it was said in the chat, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. But Mai got a 28.6. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. Woo. Lit. So we are going to just slide right in to our second round. Our second round is in reverse order of appearance. So that means we are going to be hearing again from Mai, and then Susty J, and then Nicole Tracy, and then Joshua Merchant, and then Alex the Great. Lit. We are ready. We're not even going to have a sacrifice. We're just going to jump right in, break the door down, which means on deck we have Susty J, but give maximum love. Give it up one more time for Mai.
Can y'all hear me? Yay. This poem has a content warning for addiction and Narcotics Anonymous. Sweaty palms drip holy water into heavy heart. Throat jumps into mouth. The words that never found home in this body spill out from teeth. Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm an addict. Yeah, I'm an addict. Today, I will be getting my 1-year chip. It's been a year since dust rebuilt its way into a chokehold. Powder took hold of this throat. Tongue fell in love with the chalkiness. Teeth fell in love with water after dry swallow. Lips fell in love with the rolling of pills. Body fell out of love with itself. Teeth chatter the tune of fear. Heel bounces off the air next to the floor. Never hits the ground, though. I was selling my skin for a daydream, delusion, and self-deception. I was sinking into sunken bones so far I lost the frame of a body. Lost the frame of a family, swollen stomach, and failing heart. The drugs only ever taught me the craft of make-believe and plain pretend. To make believe, I needed a few tools. 1, assorted pills. 2, an empty bedroom. 3, a body too tired. I took pills until I learned to deny an addiction to myself and everyone around me. But to play pretend, I needed the art of deception. I learned to convince my houseplants that I am not an addict. The pills are fun. I found my most efficient hiding places and detected the most creaky floorboards. I had mastered my own self-destruction with a map. The only thing that stopped me, though, was being afraid of the sound of my own footsteps on those creaky floorboards. NA meeting feels like it's gone on too long. I look around the room. No one is looking at the door. This scares me, though. If no one is looking at the door, it means that I spent too long looking at it the past year. It's been a year since I gave up on deception. It took me so long to forget where I hid my own pills, which floorboards would get me in the most trouble. I learned to never do anything alone. The second tool for make-believe is an empty room. I wasn't sure I could go back to my bedroom without someone and be safe with my own mind. The cravings still come, and no one waits for 1 year. It's 1 second by second, and I watch on the stopwatch on my phone, waiting for it to turn into a minute so I can start again from 1. NA meeting has definitely gone on too long, and I stop my story there because I'm not sure where it goes next. Thank you.
Gang, 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 give it up for my one last time.
Wow.
Brah, 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 brah. Lit. Wow. We are going to keep it pushing on deck. We have Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to our second poet of the second round. Give it up for Sus DJ.
Woo! Let's go.
Let's go.
You know that bird, the heron, the one with the long neck, right? I feel like I have never seen a baby heron. I know they eat fish. Perhaps they eat herring or Swedish fish or other bad dad jokes they got hooked on when their babysitter said, go fish. Do the mothers teach the children to fish? Or do they feed them first? Teach a bird to fish, feed a bird a fish. Teach a bird to fly, push a bird off a cliff. Maybe the fathers teach. That bird needs fish for life, and yes, I must fly. When I eat the fish, who is feeding me? Am I breaking bread? Sometimes there are loaves, sometimes just crumbs. Once I was a baker of bread. Now I am a friar of Bing, with billions of crepes served around the world, but the green onion crumbs were lying around the party at the pond house. What fish were in the pond? Different ones, mostly friends, some family gathering, breaking eggs, Bings, bread, crumbs. I think the most important crumbs I have now are the ones God left lying around for me. They are behind me, below me, before me, above me. You always help me discern what's a crumb, a loaf, a bing, a bread, a bird. Sometimes I need the words. Sometimes grief, sometimes relief. Sometimes hope, sometimes dope. Always peace, always the word. Amen.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Sus DJ.
Woo! Woo!
Brah,
Woo!
brah, brah, brah. Oh, shit. Let me make sure that's right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Lit. And for reference, my got a 28.4. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. It's all about the poetry, never the points. Lit, lit, lit. We're gonna keep it pushing on deck. We have Joshua Merchant, but give maximum love for our third poet of the second round. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Yes.
Mic check.
I can hear you.
A 3-part erasure of cat calls. 1, a man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you on a plate." And I don't stop walking to tell him, for fuck's sake, you are not the first person to holler at me, but you are by far the most annoying. But the humorous part of me always wonders, what type of plate would I be? I wish I could be a fun plate, but I'm probably a fragile decorative plate you get as a wedding gift just to display in a cabinet. Because like these plates, apparently I'm only good for looking at, kept away because I'm too fragile. But at least that means I am a fancy meal. One with 2 small portion sizes that can't satisfy his hunger, so he finds some other girl to plate too, blames us for his hunger, blames us for the bite marks and serrated knife marks he leaves behind, blames us for not being enough for him. A man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you on a plate." And I think about the last point that dropped me and I shattered, how I was still nothing more than meat to be consumed, how I could never satisfy his hunger either. It became my fault I wasn't appetizing enough to him anymore. But he doesn't realize he was never appetizing to me in the first place. It was only about his hunger because men don't like when their meals talk back. A man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you on a plate." Because I'm wearing shorts in 90-degree heat. Because all summer I have to choose between cat calls and heat stroke. Because if I get heat stroke, he's an excuse to put his hands on me. He's an excuse to say, I didn't say no. A man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you on a plate." And it's probably a disposable plate. Use once, throw away, just like what he thinks of me. 2, a man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you on a plate." A fragile decorative plate because I'm only good for looking at. Too fragile. A fancy meal can't satisfy his hunger. Other girls to plate. Blamed for his hunger. Blamed for not being enough. A man shouts, "Damn girl, I think I was nothing more than meat. I could never satisfy his hunger. It was only about his hunger. Men don't like when their meals talk back." A man shouts, "Damn girl," because I'm wearing shorts. Because I choose cat calls or heat stroke. A man shouts, "Damn girl, I want you disposable. Use once, throw away." 3, a man shouts, "Girl, I want you fragile, decorative, good for looking at." A meal can't satisfy his hunger. I'm blamed for not being enough. A man shouts, "Girl, you're nothing more than meat, never satisfied, don't talk back." A man shouts, "Girl, cat calls, disposable. Use once, throw away."
Gang, motherfucking gang. Give
Word.
it up for Nicole Tracy.
Woo!
Gang, 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 gang. You know, I said it once earlier, I'll say it again. I really appreciate that we haven't heard a peep, no, or a pibble from Sally. What the fuck even is a pibble? I don't know. I just be saying shit sometimes. Someone said shrimply pibbles, and now I know not watching Rick and Morty any longer because that was toxic. But for reference, Susty J got a 22.6. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. Speaking of poetry, I almost forgot to plug this. We have a writing workshop every Wednesday before our show at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There you can write with either our feature or one of our organizers, depending on the night, but it is such a great space to learn, to grow, to express yourself as an artist, to get feedback, to get guided writing. I know that for myself as a writer, sometimes it's hard for me to motivate myself to write something random, but a prompt and the proper support from somebody else does wonders and has produced some of, like, most of the work that I've ever gotten published has been from a writing workshop. So they are valuable resources, and ours is free 99, free 99 forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So like at this point, like, you know, we're giving you the free education that Joe Biden promised you. So elect us as president next year. On deck, we have Alex the Great. But give maximum love to our penultimate poet, which I have been informed means second to last. Give it up for Joshua Merchant.
Yeah.
For Azalea, the hue of public pool bitches who knew they were really mermaids. Azalea, you emerged from the blue in 1991 in a world where others will try to tell you how to pronounce your own name, how to represent what you were born into, how to honor that within your proximity. The glitter in your scales catching moonlight, you, like everyone else, wants a way in. On what sea sails when we sail past the seashore, we taught ourselves to swim. Do you remember the first time gills sprawled across your neck? For me, I was at an amusement park, Lagoon, Utah. Maybe the effulgence of the inflatable donut wore off. Maybe watching others made me feel like a floating sycophant. And there I was, under, paddling, kicking, gliding under all the way to Fremont Pool, a newborn flex, my closest friends, midwives, off duty, and there we were at Temescal and PE, playing in the shallows because with no formal training and a little know-how, that's what made sense. 3 feet worth of lessons before the week ahead, where Miss G's hand is an obsidian one, pointing to the other side where lessons 3 feet taller than me reside, and there I was. The scabs on knees and stitches where shins splintered from years spent, crawling on land, dying to be where the people are in full bloom. Streams of blood spooling from both legs until they were webbed into one before my very eyes. Some asked me to join the swim team, and I laughed, because what the fuck do I look like?
Gang, 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 give it up one last time for Joshua Merchant. Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go, poets.
God damn it. Y'all were doing so motherfucking good. And
did you miss me, poets?
no, we did not miss your. Oh my God.
When can I host? Can I host?
No,
Can I host?
no, you cannot host. I'm doing my job. You can be the audience, but don't get on me. Don't act like I wasn't doing my fucking job well. The fuck? On deck. Speaking of doing my job, I have a show to host. Our last poet, Nicole Tracy, got a 26.9. Once again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry. Never the points. The poetry. Never the points. All right. On deck, we have figuring out who won money. And I mean, I would normally say going the fuck home, but you should be at home this late. So, you know, go in the fuck to bed maybe. But give maximum love to our last poet of the night. Give it up for Alex the Great. Woo! Ow!
Yeah.
How beautiful is a body after it has been scarred, an open face bruised, needing space to breathe, the wound nothing but a memory. I survived everything that only came to hurt me, took the least of myself and named it alive. How sacred is a love song to myself? How can I serenade my solemnness, sing the background and the lead? Here comes the best part, the one where I am a good partner to me. I set the stage, the lights dim low, see self-care as an act of revolutionary healing. No is the most romantic language I know, and I get turned on by setting boundaries. I do not quiver or hesitate to name my desires one by one, granting myself my every wish. How do I pick myself back up after the fall? Look the other way when I'm catcalled by the edge. The cliff does not scare me. This is me with a real good love enveloping my entire body. See it, watch how it embraces me, covers all these insecurities twice over, how it doesn't think twice about affirming me, how I ain't got to wait for anyone else to rearrange their priorities before I can actually see that I am worthy and got to convince myself. My heart ain't fragile or weak. It's real heavy. Got a story to tell. How about these stretch marks save me? I named each one a star amongst a stellar constellation. My body is an unconquered galaxy. That heartbreak did not name me. And I am the sum of an exponential level of dispelled grief, my pain rooted in joy. How many times have I almost died? The man who stole my childhood and renamed me damaged tried to claim me. Drank so much I blacked out through my 20s. Generational trauma tried to shame me. The men who would feast on my body like a 5 o'clock buffet line. The childbirth and all the blood loss, the love loss, the eulogy, the surgeries. Every day is a party, a celebration. And I am my favorite song. Headed back out to the dance floor. This is the remix. The mirror is my best friend. She gives a ceremonial hand clap and a dance, a monumental A to cheer me on. How glorious is the reclamation. My heart, equal parts made of clumsy relationships. Gap 2 smiles and a stained glass mason jar full of regrets. These stained teeth, hands full of stomach rolls, hips spreading over like wildfire, and hair with split ends. It's all me. Every day that I wasn't supposed to be here, but I am. I revel in Satan's failed attempts. I owe so much to this body. How it didn't betray me. I all but despise it. Yet it does not seek revenge, but it does the thankless job of continuing to love me.
Gang. For Alex the Great. Gang. Bra. Bam. All right, judges, send your scores one last time. And for reference, Joshua Merchant got a 26.8. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. So we have reached the end of the night. While I'm waiting for scores, hold on. I might have. While we're waiting for scores, and Alex the Great got a 28.3. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry, never the points. While I am waiting, I mean, they're already tabulated. I'm gonna pretend like they're not tabulated because I want to give a special shout out to two of our organizers. So last week, we sent out our and promoted our volunteer list because two of our organizers, Colin and Chardonnay, were expecting a baby coming in the last week. The baby was born healthy, safe. We want to send all of our love to Colin, Chardonnay, and their new baby, Amari. We wish y'all well. We wish y'all luck. We hope to see y'all soon. Adjusting to a new baby is hard, so we love y'all, and y'all, I mean, I don't have to say this, but if y'all need anything, like, I mean, we are all just a phone call away. But yeah, it's a Rich Oak baby. Hey, gang, baby gang. Like, gang. Lit. But we are here for these scores. So I have our winners for today. I need a little baby drum roll. I can do it because I got nails. In third place with a 54.7. Give it up for Joshua Merchant.
Hey, thank you. This was a good ass slam. Reggie, your poems always fuck me up, but your sacrificial poem in particular today, I don't like feeling things. Or rather, I tell myself I'm dead inside so I can pretend like I don't have feelings. It's not true, and your poems just remind me of that. Nicole, you're a great fucking writer. Susty J, you should know that we live in an Onion article, and if you don't know what that is, you should look it up. It's not that different from most news resources any fucking way. And Alex, you're just fucking dope. And May, you're fucking dope. And thank you. I'm gonna go to bed now. Peace.
Thank you so much. Good night. Get some rest. Lit. I need a larger drum roll. In second place with a 56.4. Give it up for Alex the Great. Woo! Bra, 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 bra. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Did you have anything to say to the people? You just like thumbs up. Thank you so much, Alex. Congratulations. And that means in first place, winning 50 whole American dollars. I forgot to say there was cash. Third place gets $20. Second place won $30. And with 50 whole American dollars in first place with a 57.0. Give it up for my
Hey. Wait, who booed me?
We wooed.
Oh.
We wooed. We wooed. No boos. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, shit.
No, if someone booed you, we can fight. We can fight. We don't boo poets at my shows. Like, I don't know what shows y'all coming from, but we don't boo poets. Because let me tell you something. It takes a lot to get into a Zoom room, a stage, an audience full of strangers and spit your truth. So I don't care if it's the worst poem that you've ever heard. We're going to cheer for bravery because it's never about the points. It's about the expression. It's about the poetry. It's about the art form. And thank you so much for coming. You got anything to say to the people?
I graduated.
Hey!
Hey, let's get it.
I lived long enough, bitch.
Gang, let me tell you, graduation, like, I mean, like, as an adult, like, I had to pay bills, but let me tell you, my life has gone exponentially up in high school. I honestly feel like if you had a terrible experience in high school, you are going to have a better experience as an adult because everyone who had fun in high school peaked in high school.
Oh shit, if that means that, then I'm gonna become like a fucking billionaire.
Look, look, you never know. Keep saying it, it may happen. But congratulations, we stand in education. Yes.
Arvin saying invest in AOC.
Yes. Look, Arvin, I'm still mad about someone said that Bitcoin though. It's all about Dogecoin.
Yes. I am staying in Boston. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all here for Coco.
I'm so sad. Honestly, the one downside of COVID ending is like y'all are gonna go back to in person.
We're working on it actually. One of our goals, we've talked about this since we went online, is we are currently looking for ways to continue our online platform because we do have a national and an international and a global community that we've really fucking enjoyed. Like, goddamn, like it's hard living in a bubble. So we definitely want to figure out ways to stay connected, to have online shows, to do things through Zoom, Instagram Live. Maybe not all of our shows, but definitely have a space for y'all to come and still perform.
I'll just come say hi, you know, come hang out.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, either way, we're still trying. We don't want to be like, COVID's over, bye y'all.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're still trying to figure it out what it's going to look like because what is post-COVID anyway?
No. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you everybody. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you to all of our poets, Josh, Alex the Great, Susty J. I have been Reggie. This has been the Berkeley Poetry Slam. We will see y'all next week for the Oakland Slam, the Berkeley Slam, and the Alchemy Open Mic. It is triple threat poetry week. Our third week of the month is always the best week of the month because we get to hear all the poetry all the time, and we will be there right there with you. We'll see y'all next week. Get vaccinated. Wear a goddamn mask. I don't give a fuck what the CDC says. Wear a goddamn mask. Ain't nobody gotten the cold, the flu for over a year. Like, damn, just cough into some cloth and call it a day. But we'll see y'all next week.